ChatGPT, etc., it has become a toy in everybody's hands.
This is a time where a lot of the the change is going to happen on so-called the white-collar jobs, right? Where people are actually sitting, looking and analyzing data and stuff.
AI optimization means less people. Does this really happen?
We were discussing a little bit earlier as well. I was talking to someone senior in a law firm, and they were saying that there's a whole battery of people who do case analysis and all that stuff. Earlier research used to happen, and now ChatGPT just throws it immediately. So they were saying that maybe around 50-60 of my folks are to be redeployed. And I was asking, how are you going to do that? He said that, see, you have to understand that the base work is being done, which these people used to do earlier, but they need to move into strategic roles now. So they need to analyze the data, because customers are also becoming far more demanding, because they also have that same stuff available for them. They don't need to come to anyone else. So that's one thing. The way I look at AI, I would say that it will play on the two P's and A, I would call it PPA. The first one is predictability, of course, because currently predictability is based on data, intuition and experience. That's the three pillars on which an individual takes a decision, right? But I think some amount of predictability will get enhanced with the AI. That's the first piece of it. The second part of it is personalization. Currently, the personalization angle is not very well defined. Rule-based, right? So for example, when you are saying that there are so many platforms in which people are looking, so if you have customized, personalized content or reach being there, so it's going to help a significant amount. And the third important thing is the adaptability on real-time basis. Because currently what happens is you have to wait for 3 months, 4 months and get to AC Nielsen or someone to do a market research and all that stuff, right? Here your agents will figure out, which are automated on real-time basis, okay, this campaign is not working, let me shift to something else. So I would say those are things which are there. So I think people will start moving up on the cerebral curve. That is the way I look at it. The lower strata of the people, of course, they will have to get trained or retrained or find a different kind of a thing. I would say.
So, in line with the question, sorry, Vipul, you're saying something.
Sorry, just wanted to add, since you mentioned about 30 years ago in companies, there used to be something called a typing room, where you had an army of people just sitting on typewriters typing. You had stenographers and you had secretaries, etc. You had that army, and ultimately when computers came, everyone went kind of out of work there. But that did not mean that it was a totally change. So there are change of skill sets also. Of course, in our marketing also, we have seen that earlier there was a brand person, there was a media person, there was a consumer insights person, BTL person. They would be there, and subsequently there was social media person, subsequently there was someone for email marketing. Then when apps came, then we had ASO also. So I think AI also becomes another thing in the market where people have to develop their skill sets. But what it disrupts, and I see this in context also when digital marketing came to the fore, especially after Google. So Google with its dashboards, then came social media with its own campaign managers. The information which hitherto used to be all that experience, expertise used to reside at the top of the hierarchy. They had that experience, and when they had the experience, they could command that kind of respect. Their word was the law. That was the word. But after experience, there is always data. Now with digital marketing, all that data actually became more democratized. Everybody, even the junior most person in the team, had access to the dashboards, had access to data and hence insights even before the CMO. So then the whole control, and I know I have seen that change happening, that suddenly the CMOs became more reliant on the junior stuff. With AI, it was earlier again a very thing which is technical. The IT department used to handle AI, but now with ChatGPT, etc., it has become a toy in everybody's hands. So now that technical part of it, which used to be earlier, say, designing, which used to be, for example, research, another technical part was making the creatives, the mood boards, etc. All those technical things are now being easily done by anyone who has no knowledge of those. So now, whichever technical fields you see or whichever manual tasks that you see, So that analogy of typists and the analogy of technical parts, all that will get actually merged in the hands of the generalist. I see more of the rise of the generalist who knows how to use the AI tools rather than the specialist.
So basically, what I'm taking away, Francis, if you want to add something.
Key question was, will people be reduced?
Yeah, I was going to.
And I think from that people be reducing, I think technologies have come and changed different aspects, right? So till now, a lot of the change has actually happened in the past with industrial robots, and therefore a lot of things in manufacturing where you had less number of people. You have today all these semiconductor factories have very little people in terms of workers and stuff. But this is a time where a lot of the the change is going to happen on so-called the white-collar jobs, right? Where people are actually sitting, looking and analyzing data and stuff. Some of the best things that AI is currently automating as such is basically very close to both coding and data analytics, primarily because that's what big tech really understand well, and they know what needs to be automated, right? And therefore it's more market ready. Versus some of the things they're learning industry-wise based on the potential and the market size of the industry, and they'll kind of go and invest in those areas to kind of go ahead and disrupt that. But as of now, these two, and therefore everything from marketing technologists, building a website today using Replit is so much faster. And so cool and so fast, right? In terms of how you want to prompt it, and you'll have a ready sort of mock before you want to kind of do. So what I think is going to happen, and started happening both, from the people being replaced, is a different type of people. The different type of people as of now seem to be more closer in the space of analytics and coding or technology. But eventually it's going to be a whole bunch of people who are sitting and doing more white-collar jobs of analyzing the data. For example, in insurance, somebody who scrutinizes data from two different sources and say, oh, is this data in the Aadhaar card matching what is there in the proposal form? Is this person looking the same? And so on and so forth, right? So all of that, and eventually underwriting, which is kind of a rule-based piece. I think some of those things will actually move faster and get automated faster than something which is very creative in the form of marketing. It doesn't mean that will not happen. But I think in the order of things, I think this is how the order will flow.